Hello friends, I'm Manoj K Jha. We'll talk about GS Mains Advance in 100 days and how to do it in 100 days. See, this year, after main examination, especially the GS I'm talking about, we are making our opinions and it's not new. After every year, after preliminary examination, main examination, or whatever the level of the examination or stages of the examination, we make our opinions. But this doesn't make much sense to the UPSC. Because UPSC has its own way and it will keep on, you can say, testing at the different level. The point which I'm trying to raise here is basically, if you look at the way questions are framed, and not this year, if you look at last year, before that also, it demands a kind of continuous capacity building to meet the demand of the UPSC rather than focusing more on either answer writing or concept building. No, it has to go hand in hand, and it is, you can say, closely embedded with each other. So the point which I'm trying to say here is that when we talk about main examination and when we are talking about GS mains in 100 days, the number one, concept building does not mean the basics. What we are going to do is basically that we'll touch the static part, but our focus is basically on the application part, expression part, etc. And so we are trying to combine three things in 100 days. You can say, number one, the concepts. Number two, means last two and a half years approximately, contemporary issues, because if you map the contemporary issues of last two and a half years, it comes around 500 topics. And so combining these two and then putting, you can say, the assessment above it, a continuous assessment with the test series. So if you combine these three and create a point, probably it will help you to map the outcome. Why I'm saying the map the outcome? Because until unless you are able to measure the outcome, you are able to create the milestones, it's very difficult to achieve. Anything which you are not able to map, it's very difficult to achieve. And so this is how we are going to do in 100 days. The next point in the capacity building for the main examination is basically related to the expression and assessment. Probably you will realize, if you ask yourself honestly, then on the name of answer writing, we have shifted our focus more to the presentation rather than the expression. And expression basically focuses more on what rather than how. What in the sense that what comes first or what comes before how. So it's very important for you to understand that first thing first, you need to be very clear in terms of concepts, your thought process, and then go for the expression, answer writing, etc. While doing answer writing, what you do? You basically capture your thought process. So if that is not very clear, what is not very clear, then only talking about the how, presentation, etc. will not give you edge over the others. It's a competitive examination, so every step you will have to map as if it is going to give you edge. And also, instead of talking to the test series, answer writing, etc., I always prefer to use the word or the idea that is called assessment. A continuous assessment, and a different kind of assessment is required. So with that first level itself, you can assess yourself that what is your strength, weaknesses, where you need to work precisely. And this is the reason that we have introduced the worksheet concepts. So those who you can say interacted with me in the classes, they know it very well that I prefer to give lots of worksheets first, so that you understand the exact requirement. Then you create a framework. Then you go for, you can say, small tests. And then you go for the test series. So if you understand this journey, probably it will help you to achieve more, set the milestone right, work very focused, very targeted, reduce the wastage of efforts, etc. Rather than simply talking about writing on daily basis. Until unless daily basis answer writing is mapped very well in a framework, probably it doesn't give you the outcome. For the sake of writing, if you are writing, then the question is, where do you want to go? Where it will lead? And because why I'm saying that it's very easy for me, for anybody else who is on this podium, to talk about the perspective, to talk about the main examination. But main examination is all about perspective. And especially when you have to answer everything in 3 hours, that becomes very, very tough. That is a very different level of peak performance that you have to achieve, because when I'm talking about the perspective is something, the way you look at the topic, issues, data, fact, figures, illustration, etc. And this is something that takes time. It takes time. It is gradual. It's incremental. And here candidates also make mistake, because your personal opinion may not be accepted as a perspective. Perspective is something which is substantiated very well based on established wisdom, and then the way you are going to put it in the right context. So it makes all the difference. All the difference. And what we are going to do in the sense that the contemporary issues, we are going to do it in 2 phases, you can say. Number 1, first before preliminary examination, and second after preliminary examination. Before preliminary examination, we'll cover approximately 550 core issues, which touches most of the core issues, discussion, debates, which happened in the last 2 years. And after preliminary examination, that obviously updation is required. So we'll keep updating after the you can say the preliminary examination also. So you generally ask what is all about the course, but my question is different. What we expect from you, or you can say it's very important for you also to know that what you expect from this course. If you combine both the things, then the issue is basically how to take maximum from this course. Number 1, this course is not for the freshers, not at all. This course is only for those who had done the first reading very well, at least appeared in the preliminary examination. If you have not appeared in the preliminary examination at least once, then it's not for you. It's not for you. Because it's basically a capacity building course rather than spoon feeding. So we'll touch maximum area. Will help you to expand your ability to cover the syllabus and hold the command over it in the 100 days, and also answer writing. So it's obviously not going to be the phrases. What we expect from you is basically the consistency. Over the years, I have realized, and the candidates, those who knows me, they know that how particular I am about the taking the test, answer writing, assessment, mentorship, etc. But the issue is, when you take admission, you expect a lot of things. But when you have to participate, you don't participate. Then you wait for something that gives you the confidence. This confidence of you can say the completion will never come. It is a process. It's a process, continuous. That participation in the process, the part of that process will give you the confidence. So this is what we are going to do in 100 days. And this is all about, you can say, GS Advanced course that we are going to start soon. Thank you very much.